10 Worst Auditions on America's Got Talent. When you're offered a platform as huge and famous as America's Got Talent, who wouldn't want to be a part of it? But let's face it, if you don't have the talent, there's no need for you to go embarrass yourself in public. Join us as we count down to the most hilarious auditions from the popular reality show. But before we begin, click on that subscribe button and tap the bell icon to receive notifications for all future videos. Don't forget, the funniest part is right at the end, so get ready to crack some ribs. 10. That wasn't so funny. It's a common thing that while we're among friends, we crack a joke or two and they actually turn out to be funny. But that's entirely different from performing a comical skit on a stage like America's Got Talent, in front of a large audience and a guest panel that is capricious. In this case, the contestant has a few good jokes that have been poorly executed. His stiff body shows his lack of confidence and his face is filled with nervousness. He does attempt some time-tested pieces of comedy, but maybe it wasn't really his day and nothing seems to work out. He goes on to say how it is not working out for him right there on stage. The judges do agree with him for once, but to his dismay, such an agreement does not bring him any good. Well, let's wish him some luck and applaud him for his honesty at least. Up next, watch what happens when you're promised an action or thriller and what you get is romantic comedy. 9. Magic? Comedy? What is it? You want to spend your weekend watching a nice action movie. You enter the theater expecting an action flick, and what you get to see is a romantic comedy. Even if the movie turns out to be a good one, how is that an excuse? Okay, let's connect the dots for you. The contestant in this case was supposed to perform magic tricks, but turned out to showcase something hilarious that left the audience in splits. While two of the judges seemed to enjoy it quite well, the question remained, where was the magic? Dude, we agree you have talent, but that's not the talent you wanted to portray. Can't blame the judge who pressed the red buzzer. We're as disappointed as him, to be honest. Expectations and reality certainly don't match in this case. If there was a contest for the worst ever audition on America's Got Talent, then this next clip would win hands down. 8. The best, worst video. For a change, we're giving you an assortment of many auditions which are competing for the worst audition ever in a single video. This video will make you laugh, mock, and also cringe in one go. You name it, and it happens. While we don't abstain from approaching the confidence and earnest efforts made by some of the contestants, the others' appetite for fame makes us cringe. From dressing up weirdly to some oops and embarrassing moments, these contestants have done it all. Some of these acts are beyond description, and you just don't understand what's happening. Honestly, we felt embarrassed just by watching the video, and that's the reason we applaud their confidence to come onto a stage and goof up intentionally. Again, the desire to be famous or infamous can drive you to do insane and crazy things. 7. Beauty turned beastly. This act begins all well and beautiful, but turns into ugliness pretty soon. Two ballerinas are introduced, pleasantries are exchanged, and the act takes off well. They move like a breeze, but soon it becomes hodgepodge. This is where the confusion begins too. Are they serious? Are they making the mistakes on purpose? Or is the act genuinely messed up? So many questions pop into our minds as we watch this, and in no time, it turns into an ugly fight. At this moment, you realize that it doesn't matter what the act is about because it's very evident that there is a lack of idea and absolutely no execution. The effort and hard work behind the act are seen, but somehow this act seems to have gone wrong for no reason. Maybe that's why they say talent needs to be supported by a bit of luck. Regardless of how good you are, it has to be properly presented on the D-Day. If not, you end up embarrassing yourself in public. Up next, is it positive to insult someone publicly? 6. Spread positivity by insulting? Like all others, this audition starts on a great note. The contestant introduces himself and the entire audience cheers for him. The judges are very impressed by his agenda, and it looks like he'll impress them with his performance too. A few seconds into the act, the cheers are turned into boos. The audience boos him after every joke he delivers. It's ironic that a person who claims to want to inspire the world with positivity and happiness proceeds to make fun of every prominent person in there, the host and the judges. One can see the shock on the audience face, and the judges are heard passing comments about his not-so-positive jokes. He makes jokes on all the judges one by one and gets eliminated by each of them in the same order. He gets personal in his jokes, comments about their career, and is racist. You can't stop wondering at his audacity to perform such a piece on a platform like this. The audience and the judges are furious by the end of the act. One of the judges proceeds to press the buzzer on behalf of another judge. The smile on their faces when the contestant is eliminated speaks volumes. And now for the answer to the question, what does Gothic represent? 5. White Gothic. Generally speaking, Gothic represents things that evoke fear, and that's evident in this next act. The moment you see these performers, we're pretty sure that the first emotion that you experience is fear. The only difference is that they are dressed in white, unlike the traditional Goth black. The performance starts, and it doesn't take too long for the audience and the judges to analyze that there is no true talent here. Perhaps what they don't know was that the lack of talent was filled by an obnoxious attitude. This is by far the deadliest combination we'd heard. Ignorance combined with attitude. The contestants were rejected by all judges but one, who thought it was a comical skit. Upon learning that it was indeed being performed seriously, he wasn't happy either. This may sound like just another goofy performance, but hold your horses, there's more to it. When the judges gave the lead performer suggestions, he answered back rudely to provoke the judges enough to say that it's a talent show and not a search for obnoxious and rude people. The audience was also clearly agitated and expressed it by booing him down. Up next, a rather unexpected audition. 4. Beating the living daylight out of the judges. Before you panic, let us assure you, the contestant didn't really hit the judges, only their images. The piece started with stunning images of the judges being brought out, and the contestant displayed some interesting moves with a nunchuck. But soon, things took a turn. The contestant happily started beating the images of the judges using the nunchuck, and then the inevitable happened. The red buzzer was pressed. It takes no genius to point out that the act was extremely insulting to the panel of judges. To our relief, the contestant left the stage graciously and with a smile, unlike the contestants arguing and shouting back at the judges. At this point, it was indeed a relief to see this sight. Some sing well, some dance well, some are great magicians, and some cook well. But hey, we have something different for you coming up next. 3. When your future lies behind you, or lies in your behind. Before revealing what this next act is all about, let us give you a small disclaimer. You may either find it bizarre and weird or extremely interesting and engaging. This contestant on America's Got Talent claims that she is a bottom reader, just like a palm reader or a face reader.
I'm actually a bottom reader.
A what?
So, a bottom reader.
Yes, she says she can read people's future by looking at their bottoms. And before you panic, let us assure you, it's with clothes on, thank goodness. She tried her skills on the host of the show, and we don't really know if they were true. One of the judges expressed her interest in this, talent, too, but if you thought it was good enough for a platform like America's Got Talent, then you are gravely mistaken. Despite being entertaining, the contestant failed to get through the round, and was sent back with a red buzzer. We simply don't have words to describe this next entry on the list. See it to believe it. 2. The oh la la hoop. We don't seem to understand the attitude of some people here. Do they overestimate the talent they possess or underestimate the reach and the impact of this show? We're obviously not referring to those who make genuine efforts but fail to give the optimum on the final day. Focusing on this present case, the contestant who had already appeared on the show 2 years back with the same skill set claimed to have improved a lot during those years. She then began her act of hula hooping.
I remember her so well.
In the words of one of the judges, she looked more like she was fighting with the hula hoop.
Now you're having a fight with it.
The results were quite obvious, and she doesn't get selected. At this point, we honestly think people should realize what kind of platform America's Got Talent is and start taking the show a bit more seriously. A bit of fun is harmless, but coming all the way to make a laughingstock of yourself is wasting the time of the judges, and it must be stopped and with immediate effect. And now we're down to the number 1 entry on the list. I saved the best for last, but first I have a quick challenge that takes only 5 seconds to complete. So if you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Just try it. It really works. 1. The clown who gave chills and blues. Just like one of the judges in the panel, if you have a fear of clowns, you may have to rethink your decision of going ahead. The next contestant appears on the stage with a typical I am a chirpy person introduction because he's a clown, and obviously, he's supposed to make people laugh. He has blue makeup on his face and red hair, and we admit it does look a bit scary. Then he goes on to reveal what he has on his face is not makeup, but a tattoo. The entire audience is taken aback.
That's not
Your
makeup.
whole face is tattooed.
That's not makeup. It's not coming off.
No.
We've heard about dedication, but this is taking dedication to an entirely new level. He goes on to explain his long-lasting love affair with clowns since the age of 10. But tattooing his entire face? Oh boy, unimaginable. And then begins the performance. A typical clown performance where falling and dropping things are supposed to make people laugh, but The real question is, who is he performing for? 5-year-olds? In no time, red buzzers are followed by more red buzzers, but our clown does not give up and continues to entertain the judges. We do find some audience laughing, but it's difficult to make out if they're laughing at the clown's act or his goof-ups. Good or bad, these people certainly wanted some publicity. What do you think about these auditions? Have you ever participated in any? Do let us know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and have an excellent day.